Hi everyone, today is the 31st of May 2024 and as you know, yesterday the engine arrived, but look at the weather. It's not very warm today, to be honest, and every time you start to do anything, of course, that pours down the rain. But got a little bit of a dilemma and I've been thinking what to do. Basically what it is I bought that engine crane 2 weeks ago, coming this weekend, and I said I'd have it for 2 weeks because the guy who I bought it off has got a job on. So the dilemma is, do I get it back to him and wait, I don't know, a week, 2 weeks or whenever, and have it again to carry on, or do I just get this engine quickly chucked in and then mess about with it while it's in? I've decided I'm going to leave my gearbox. I'm going to obviously change that clutch thrust plate activator, whatever you want to call it, put that into George and then make this engine up. I have in that box there just got some gaskets, so I've got a full gasket rebuild for this engine if I need to. I was debating whether to just pull it all apart and put all new gaskets on, but like I say, because I want to get crack on, I think what I'm going to do is put it in. If we get oil leaks from the sump or anything, I've got the gaskets, I can just do it later on. I've got a new filter, oil filter, I've got a new air filter, blah de blah de blah. I've got loads of bits and bobs, and some of that stuff there was what I bought with some of you guys who donated on Buy Me a Coffee. Thanks very much for that. That's how come I bought the gaskets. And what else did I buy? Oh yeah, I bought some engine mounts, but I'm not even sure I'm going to use them because I've also been told that the new ones are so blinking hard you get a lot of vibration, so I'll check the other ones before we put it back together. And if I can get away with using them, then I might do that. So my plan is today is to try and just get this lump into George, and then we'll go from there. First thing I've done is removed the dynamo. I'm not going to put my alternator on yet because I need to put that on with some different bolts. It's going to need the water pump to be put back on. I did just remove these pieces of tissue what have been blocking the plug holes, and I have wound it over. It seems to turn over nice and freely. Craig did say he's put a load of WD-40 down them plug holes, so that'll probably squirt out if it hasn't evaporated as yet. I think I might as well change that oil filter while we're here, and this is where I had the problem on mine from here, if you remember. Then I might give it a little bit of a clean up and then get it in, see if I can get it bolted up. That'll be a good achievement if I can just get that in today. Another thing I've just noticed on here, we've got the oil pressure takeoff. It's got a switch on, it's got a T in it, so I can also use the gauge, which is good. So we'll be using both of those, but not just yet, just that we will do. Right, so we'll just give that a little bit of a clean up with a bit of brake cleaner around this filter, because we'll take that off now and put the new filter in, because it's going to be easier to access it while it's off on this pallet. So we'll get that done next. There's all the dirty oil what was in it, the old filter. We cleaned up all the components, so all we need to do now is get the new filter in, new gasket in here, the sealing ring, and get it put back together. Right then, so that's half decent engine now. It's not totally clean, but it's clean enough. I've used a good can and a half of brake cleaner on it, cleaning things up. It's got the new oil filter on it now. I think all the rest can do in the car if need be. So I'm going to transfer that engine now onto some wheels so I can wheel it in front of George, and then we'll get the crane, lift it up, pop it in. But before I do that, I've just remembered I need to get that activator clutch release out of this gearbox and put it into the one in George. So next job is to take this out. Right, now we've got this one out, we can look at it. Can you see that it's got more meat on it, and it's nice and free in there, look, where mine was rusty, damaged there, and it's got a groove right into it. It's probably because it was matted up to the 950 engine with the wrong back plate. It's just caused it to damage it. But the one out of the new gearbox, or the one we got with the engine, if you look here, that is bent, that is twisted. It should be like that. So when it activates, it does this with the rod through there. And see, that one's in the wrong place, it's been twisted. Will it twist back? Will it snap? I don't know. I think that just snap myself. I might just give it a twist in a voice, just see what happens, but I think that'll snap. If not, then I'll just have to move this into here. But they're looking slightly different how they are fixed in. This one's got like a big spring thing on it, and this one has just got like a clip on it. So we'll just have to find out what the difference is. I'm just going to see if I can twist it, see if it'll snap or bend. We will find out. So you fitted in different ways. This one had this spring effort, and this one had them clips. I didn't bother to try and bend that round to this position. In the end, I just took that one out and put it into here. You can see it's a nice smooth operation on there now, so that should work fine to activate or deactivate the clutch. Yep, let's just see if we can get it into my gearbox, or George's gearbox. Audio, so the clutch activator is now in place. I haven't connected it to the rod underneath. I will do that once we're all fitted. I'm just going to have a little clean up, and then we'll get the engine onto some wheels and put it in front of the car, and then see if we can manoeuvre that into place. It's all good, eh? Transferred the engine onto my little set of wheels so I can manoeuvre it about. It's quite easy to get it from there to there. They're not the heaviest of engines, but maybe a few years ago a couple of us would have lifted it, but I don't want to be chancing doing me back in. Right, so I need to get this gearbox and stuff out of the way so I can then set the crane up again so I can pick the engine up. So I'm going to have a little bit of a tidy up so I can get the crane set up. To drag the pallet back so I can get the crane out. I've just realised, because I did that brake, got that wheel off, I think that'll be safer to get that wheel back on and get it straightened up before I do anything with manoeuvring that engine. So I'm just going to get the wheel back on. We're taking out these bolts on the top so that we can put the bar across for the lifting the chains, because there's enough to hook onto on these, and these seem a quite good place to put them. So I'll just get the attachment, put it on here so it can be lifted. Get in there. I've got the engine to mate up into the gearbox. I just need to lower the gearbox a touch, and then the engine, push it back, get a couple of bolts in there, and then we can lift it again to connect the engine mountings. But we're getting there now. It's looking good. And guys, now I need to make a decision. Do I put these old mounts on? Yeah, there's cracks in them, but they're not come away or anything. like I say, people are saying if they're not really bad, don't change them because the new ones will be rock hard. Let's just get them out and have a look. They're obviously the old ones and these are the new. They don't feel that hard. I did get these from a reputable place. I got them for ESM, Morris Miners. I think I might just go for them. We'll soon find out. Yeah, I don't think they're that hard. I know it's going to be the impact of them, how they move, but means I've got them. Let's put them on. If we get too much vibration, I've still got them, and that is an easy change. Right, let's get all these nuts ready to go on to the new ones. Moving along nicely now. Got the front mounts in, bolted up. Yeah, I went for the newer ones. Well, we will see what happened with that. Obviously I've got to get a water pump on this at some point, but I've got the bolts in at the back, at the top. I just need to put the ones in the bottom and the starter motor, and that will all be connected up and I can tighten them all up. I think I'm going to go for the starter next, and then I'll get underneath and put the bolts at the bottom. But as you can see, it's getting in there now. The starter motor's in. That starter motor is actually brand new, never been used, so that was another thing what Craig gave me with this engine. It's my gearbox we're using, but I think the other gearbox is probably better. But hey ho, we've come this far. All the bolts are in now around the bell housing, so that is in. Front mounts are on. I'll just put the engine sturdy on, tighten that up. Might need to adjust that later, but we will see. I know a lot of people say they have a lot of vibration, they literally remove them, but we will see about that. I've never ever known that one. Yeah, so we're getting there now. I think I might, just trying to think what I need to do next. I think I might be connecting up the exhaust next. That might be a good idea. Get the exhaust clamp on while there's nothing in the way. The heater pipes are going to be slightly different the way they came around, but we'll work that one out in a bit. Obviously that one will go on the back, that one will go on to this. I think on mine it came up this side and it joined along here, but it's just on the other side, just the way it is. We need to remount the water pump. I'll have to see whether I've got a little bypass tube what goes from here and the water pump. I'm pretty sure that's what that needs there. But coming along nicely, the main thing I wanted to do was just get this engine into the car today. So it's actually quite cold, I'm quite chilly, I've been laying on the floor and stuff, but I'm pleased how far I've got now, even if I don't do any more. But like I say, I'm still plodding along. I think I'll get this exhaust connected up next. That'll be another little job done out of the way. The clamp on this piece is not tight because that is where the spring connects to pull back on the carburetor throttle. I normally use a bit of exhaust paste when I put them together, but I used that when I did the night heater in the van, so I haven't got any at the minute. It'll probably blow a little bit, but I can easily get to that to rectify it if it does and sort that out. Right, what's next? He says, do I go for put the carburetor back on, or shall we have a look at the water pump? Decisions, eh? Decisions. I might put that carburetor back on while I'm in this position. Right, so I've been cracking on a bit. Got my alternator fitted, the fan belts on, got my distributor on, connected up some of the cables, carburetor's on. Just in the process of changing this housing because I want to put the one with my temperature gauge in on there, so I'm just going to clean these up, put some gasket sealer on, chuck these on, and that'll probably be about it for today. Time's running out, but ain't done too bad. Well, there's that thermostat hosing on with the sender in, which I can join that wire to. So that's done now. There's not a great lot more to do now. Obviously need to check the distributors timed up, set the points up, bits and bobs. Then we'll try and get the front on, get some water in it, put some oil in it, and maybe give it a whirl. That'll be in the next one, so it won't be today, but I'm quite pleased with what I've done today. Like I say, that's about it for me today. I can't do much more, there ain't much else to do, so I'm just going to leave this video here. The engine's in, just bits and pieces now. I'm sure in the middle of next week we'll have George up and running again. So thanks for watching. Special thanks to everyone who helped out with buy a coffee to get some bits and pieces for George, and an extra special thanks again to Craig for supplying that lovely engine. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye for now.